You know, humans have been chasing a sound for over a century, ever since we first built radios. We constructed massive metal ears, planted them in the desert, and pointed them at the stars, scanning every frequency we could imagine: hydrogen lines, pulsars, the faint hum of the cosmos. For 100 years, we've been listening, hoping for a whisper, a signal, anything that proves we are not alone. And after all that time, what did we find? Silence. Crushing, absolute silence. In our last discussion, we explored the physics behind that quiet. We talked about distance, the speed of light, and the sheer scale and cost that make interstellar travel nearly impossible. That's true. Physics is unforgiving, and the universe is vast and expensive to cross. But there's another, far darker possibility, one that doesn't rely on physics, travel, or fuel, but on logic and survival. What if the reason we hear nothing isn't because no one exists out there, but because everyone else is smart enough to stay silent? That thought, this idea, keeps me awake at night. It's not a law of nature like gravity, but a law of logic, unbreakable and chilling. It's called the dark forest theory. And if it's real, then every signal we've ever sent, every TV broadcast, every Voyager probe, every high-powered radio message to distant star clusters might just be the most dangerous mistake in the history of life on Earth. Let's strip away the fantasy of Star Trek and look at the universe through cold, logic game theory and cosmic sociology. Picture yourself as a hunter in an ancient dark forest. Night has fallen, and you can see only 10 feet ahead. Life teems all around you, but resources are scarce, and everyone is fighting to survive. You carry a gun, but you tread softly, stepping carefully to avoid snapping twigs, holding back a cough, never using a flashlight, breathing shallowly. Why? Because behind every tree, beneath every bush, could be another hunter, and you don't know their intentions. Are they hungry? Are they insane? Do they see you as a threat? Make a sound, light a fire, or shout, "Hello," and you're as good as dead. In this forest, revealing your position is the same as painting a target on your chest. The hunters who have survived for millions of years don't introduce themselves. They don't ask if you come in peace. They strike first. Not out of malice, not out of hatred, but because in a universe of darkness, eliminating potential threats is the only reliable way to survive. This is the dark forest theory, popularized by science fiction writer Lou Chickson, but grounded in the real mathematics of the Fermi Paradox. It suggests that the reason the universe appears empty is simple. All intelligent civilizations are hiding. They are ghosts because staying invisible is the only way to survive, while we are the fools standing in the clearing, lighting a massive bonfire and yelling, "We are here! We have water! We have DNA! Come find us!" It sounds paranoid, maybe even grim, but logic doesn't care about optimism or hope. The theory rests on two fundamental truths of cosmic sociology. First, survival is the ultimate goal of any civilization. Without it, nothing else matters. Art, science, morality, all meaningless if you are dead. Survival always comes first. Second, civilizations expand, but the total matter in the universe is finite. Think about it. As a civilization grows, it needs more energy, more stars, more planets, more minerals. Look at Earth. We burned wood, then coal, then oil, and now we're reaching for the Sunday. Eventually, every resource in our solar system will be necessary. Growth clashes with scarcity, and scarcity breeds inevitable conflict. Now, imagine adding the most dangerous variable, doubt. Let's say we discover a neighboring civilization orbiting a star 20 light years away. Call them Civilization X. We don't know if they are friendly or hostile. They don't know if we are friendly or hostile. But it gets worse. Even if we somehow know they mean no harm, we can't know if they think we are harmless. And even if they know we're harmless, they can't know if we believe they think we are harmless. This spiraling uncertainty stretches infinitely, a cosmic prisoner's dilemma. Distances are vast, communication takes decades or centuries. If we send a peaceful message, it might take 20 years to reach them. In that time, we might change, or they might. Trust is impossible when you can't interact in real time. Add exponential technological growth to this mix, and the problem becomes terrifying. Humanity's history is proof. For 200,000 years, we were primitive, unchanged hunters and gatherers. Then, in the blink of cosmic time, the last 2 centuries, we went from steam engines to splitting the atom, From horse carriages to probes leaving the solar system, technology grows exponentially, not linearly. A civilization that seems harmless today could, centuries later, surpass us completely, armed with tools that could annihilate stars. A baby tiger is adorable, but if you wait for it to grow, it could kill you. In the dark forest of the cosmos, you don't wait. You act preemptively. If a new life sprout could become a threat, the safest, most logical choice is to eliminate it before it blooms. There is no malice, no cruelty, it's pure calculus. Destroying them costs nothing. Letting them live risks everything. In a universe where the stakes are extinction, the only rational choice is a preemptive strike. This explains the silence we see. The old, advanced civilizations, the so-called Type 3 civilizations with godlike power, are quiet because they are listening. They are hunters in the forest. They do not broadcast, they do not introduce themselves, they wait and watch. And when they detect a noisy signal, a bubble of radio waves expanding from a yellow dwarf, they strike first. That brings humanity to an uncomfortable truth. We are children playing with a loaded gun. For over a century, we have been leaking radio waves, TV shows, news, military signals, GPS. We have created a bubble of noise now over 200 light years wide. To an advanced observer, Earth shines in the radio spectrum brighter than the Sunday. But our arrogance didn't stop at accidental signals. In 1974, we used the massive Arecibo telescope to beam a high-power message directly at the M13 star cluster. We included everything: our DNA, population, planet location, basically a dinner invitation with a map to our front door. We even sent the Voyager golden records, carefully designed to guide anyone to us. In essence, we screamed in the dark forest, "Here we are, come find us." Why did we do this? Because we assumed intelligence equals morality, that any species advanced enough to detect us must be benevolent. We projected our human optimism into the void, ignoring evolution's lessons. On Earth, the smartest creatures aren't necessarily the kindest. Humans, the smartest species, have no qualms exploiting weaker life forms. Ants, cows, wolves, we expand, consume, dominate. To a civilization millions of years ahead of us, we are not enemies, we are insects in their cosmic backyard. And history teaches us, you don't negotiate with insects, you remove them. Stephen Hawking warned us too. Encountering a highly advanced civilization could be like Native Americans meeting Columbus. We know how that ended. Low-tech civilizations rarely survive clashes with high-tech invaders. The forest doesn't need hatred or malice. It operates on pure survival, logic, and fear. So, what does this cleaning of the forest actually look like? Hollywood loves to imagine fleets of massive spaceships, lasers, explosions, dogfights across atmospheres. Independence Day, War of the Worlds, they make it look dramatic, exciting, almost heroic. But in reality, the physics tells a different story. Sending a fleet takes enormous energy, years, maybe decades. The most efficient way to eliminate a threat is quiet, precise, and lethal. Advanced civilizations could launch a relativistic kill vehicle, a tiny object, no bigger than a needle, accelerated close to the speed of light. On impact, it would release the energy of thousands of nuclear bombs. Earth wouldn't even know what hit it. Or, for truly godlike Type 3 civilizations, the options are even more terrifying. They could manipulate a star to destabilize it, trigger super flares that strip away our atmosphere, or even induce a false vacuum decay in a region of space, rewriting physics itself so chemistry and life becomes impossible. Clean, fast, efficient, survival guaranteed. The dark forest theory suggests the universe is full of silent graveyards, worlds that once shouted hello, but were silenced before they could finish the sentence. This creates what some call the great filter, the barrier that ensures only the cautious, invisible, or lucky survive. Perhaps the reason we haven't found aliens isn't that they don't exist. It's that civilization's very act of signaling is a death sentence. And here's the most uncomfortable part. We, humanity, are the noisy one. We've been broadcasting for a century, making ourselves visible, leaving a trail of signals stretching across thousands of stars. The universe has seen us. If a hunter civilization is near, it knows exactly where we are. Maybe the dark forest isn't packed with predators. Perhaps the distances are so vast that anyone capable of reaching us hasn't bothered yet. Maybe, for now, we're small, insignificant, a cricket chirping in a hurricane. Or maybe we are already in danger. The only escape from this cosmic trap lies in trust. To establish trust, a civilization must survive long enough to prove it is not a threat. It requires time, patience, and enough power to defend itself, enough to stop being prey. Until then, wisdom suggests silence. Stop shouting into the void. Stop sending maps to our doorstep. Stop acting as if the universe is a welcoming playground, because it's not. The universe is a ruthless system of matter and energy, blind to hope, indifferent to morality. Ignorance can be fatal, but arrogance is suicide. We have been the children screaming in a crib, but the cosmos doesn't respond with comfort, it responds with elimination. Survival demands that we grow up, that we learn to move quietly, to watch carefully, and to respect the forest we live in. This is not mere paranoia. It's logic applied to the scale of the cosmos. Fear, not curiosity or love, is the universal constant in a dark forest. Look at it like this. If you're in a dark room with a stranger, both armed, unable to communicate, and knowing that if the other shoots first you die, what's the rational move? You act preemptively. The same rules extend to the stars. Silence is safety. Noise is a beacon. Every civilization that makes enough noise might only survive long enough to be noticed and then erased. The quiet night sky isn't empty, it's a battlefield where survivors hide. Those twinkling stars aren't campfires of welcome. They're careful hunters, each afraid to make a sound, each waiting, watching. And until humanity understands this, every transmission, every signal, every loud gesture could be our undoing. So what should we do now? Should we panic? In truth, the cat is already out of the bag. Humanity has been broadcasting for over a century, and that expanding shell of radio signals is moving outward at the speed of light, already reaching thousands of stars. If there is a hunter civilization nearby, they already know we exist. But maybe, just maybe, the forest isn't as crowded as we fear. Perhaps the distances are so immense that even a vigilant predator won't bother with a small, noisy planet like Earth. Maybe we are insignificant, a cricket lost in the roar of a hurricane, or perhaps there is a way out. The only way to avoid the dark forest trap is to build trust, but trust takes time, survival, and the ability to defend oneself. We would need to reach the level of a Type I civilization capable of protecting ourselves from threats that could wipe us out instantly. Until then, wisdom tells us to stop shouting, stop sending detailed maps of our planet, stop making ourselves obvious, because the universe isn't a fairy tale. It is a cold, beautiful, ruthless system of matter and energy. And in such a system, ignorance can get you killed, but arrogance is the fastest route to extinction. We need to mature as a species. Stop acting like infants, crying for attention, and start acting like adults, checking the locks at night. We are alone in the dark. That doesn't mean we have to be afraid, but it does mean we must be smart. The silence of the cosmos isn't a tragedy, it's a warning, and ignoring that warning could be fatal. If humanity wants to survive, we must stop assuming that intelligence equals morality. Evolution doesn't reward kindness. Intelligence doesn't guarantee peace. Look at our own history. With each technological advance, our capacity for destruction has grown. Our ability to annihilate ourselves is staggering. The dark forest doesn't punish out of malice, it punishes uncertainty. It punishes lack of information. Fear, not hate, is the constant. Fear of the unknown, fear of potential threats. And that fear, applied on a galactic scale, explains why the universe appears so silent. The civilizations that survived did not gamble with trust. They hid, they waited, they eliminated threats before they could become dangerous. This perspective changes how we see the night sky. Those stars aren't twinkling playgrounds or inviting lights. They are the campfires of patient hunters, silent, wary, and cautious. Every light is a civilization watching and waiting. Every dark void a sign that a civilization once made noise and was removed. And here we are, broadcasting signals, revealing our location, practically waving a flag in the dark forest. We've been loud for 100 years. We've been careless. But perhaps it isn't too late to be smart. Perhaps our best move is to listen more than we speak, to observe more than we act, to grow our civilization's strength until we can defend ourselves. Until we reach that point, every transmission into the cosmos is a risk. Every message could attract attention we are not ready to handle. In a universe like this, silence is survival and noise is danger. The quiet is not emptiness, it is the sound of civilizations that learned the rules and lived. The silence of the universe is not a tragedy, it is a message, a warning. And if we pay attention, it can teach us to be cautious, clever, and patient. Humanity has made its voice heard, but maybe there is a way to move forward without recklessness. Perhaps the hunters in the dark forest are few, and perhaps their distances are vast enough that we've been lucky so far. But luck is fleeting. The only real safety comes from becoming strong, self-aware, and capable of defending ourselves. Trust in the cosmos is built, not assumed. Until we achieve that, we need to act wisely. Stop shouting into the void. Stop sending maps to our doorstep. Stop making ourselves obvious to unknown predators. The universe is not a playground. It is a system, cold and indifferent, guided by the rules of survival. Ignorance may keep us unaware, but arrogance can kill us in an instant. We must grow up as a species. Humanity is alone in the dark, but that doesn't mean we should fear. It means we must be smart. We need to observe, analyze, and respect the rules of survival. Silence can be our ally, noise can be our undoing. The dark forest theory is not about hate or evil, it is about logic, fear, and the certainty that survival comes first. As we look up at the stars, we should see not a whimsical playground of light, but the careful vigilance of civilizations that understand the stakes. Every distant star may be a hunter, watching, waiting, and ensuring its own survival. And perhaps, if we are wise, humanity can navigate this forest, learning to survive long enough to prove we are not just prey, but a species that belongs among the stars. So, what does this mean for us today? We've been careless, but awareness gives us a chance. We can choose observation over shouting, patience over recklessness, strategy over impulse. We can learn from the dark forest, from the mathematics of survival, from the quiet lesson of the cosmos itself. Ignorance is no longer bliss. Silence is no longer empty. The universe has been teaching us a simple truth. Survive first, communicate wisely, and respect the rules of the dark forest. And perhaps, just perhaps, by doing so, we might continue to exist long enough to look at the stars and not just wonder, but survive, grow, and thrive. If you want to keep exploring the frighteningly beautiful truths of reality, if you want to know whether the universe itself could be a simulation or whether physics is on the brink of breaking, make sure to subscribe. Together, we can turn on the flashlight and peer into the shadows safely. Stay quiet, stay aware, and always keep looking up, but maybe, just maybe, keep your voice down.